Hey, I'm Christine Curran, executive producer of the Dining Diva franchises, as well as the founder and CEO of the Dining Empire Network.
Diversified game. Learn how to start, run, and sustain your business.
Hey, it's Killing, and today on Diversified Game, I thought this episode was going to start late, but it's right on time just because I have the queen of the dining divas. And most divas, my goodness, you guys know how it goes. But Miss Christina is taking it to another level, saying divas can show up on time. We're going to talk about her TV show that she's been doing for years. We're going to be talking about even her crypto campaign, is what I'm going to call it, because she's out here to educate the world, especially women. Welcome to Diversified Game. How you doing today?
Amazing. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on and explain. I got the queen of the divas. When I told you, I said, I believe one of your other divas had told me she was, and again, I have no names because I'm not the federales, but, and I get paid not to talk sometimes, but I want to know talk about Dining Divas, because this reality show I've watched as much as I can online, and I'm like, wow, they're going everywhere. They're having fun. And the only reason some of you haven't heard about it is because they're not fighting on there. That's the only reason why, it hasn't been picked up. They actually have some class. So let us know, Dining Divas, why you created it and how you did it, because everybody wants to have their own TV show.
Yeah, so there's a couple things there. So Dining Divas, we created this to be the opposite of what the housewives were, right? About 8 years ago, that was really trending. And I was like, we can do this better, and we can be educational, we can be entertainment driven, and we can make it more about collaboration and bringing women from different walks of life together over food, fun, and travel. So it created Dining Divas here in Florida. Then I created the Destination Divas, which was on Travel Channel. Dining Divas was on WeTV. And then we expanded into multiple chapters. So we have Dining Divas Texas, California, and New York as well. And so under that umbrella, we've redefined the word diva to mean driven, inspiring, visionary, authentic sisterhood, divas, and the men that support us. And we actually have created a movement. It's become a movement globally. We have a ton of people that have joined our community. We have the Diva Network, which you can join every single week and, learn from some of the best teachers in AI, social media, marketing, systems and processes, you name it. We have people that come on that are experts in fields. And then we do networking, virtual networking, where everybody gets to break out into groups and get to know each other and exchange collaborations and partnerships and opportunities. So the Diva movement is a global movement, and we have traveled to all kinds of parts of the world to do TV shows for the Destination Divas. We've been to St. Lucia, we've been to Mexico, we've been to Colombia, we're headed to Tobago in a couple weeks. We've done a lot of really cool stuff on the show, Exumas. And then we also, under the Dining Empire, we produce third-party shows. So if you've ever been told you should have your own TV show, we can help you produce it and distribute it with guaranteed distribution on 15 streaming platforms. So we have a lot to offer under the Dining Empire, and we're all about elevating creators' voices, letting them keep their IP. You don't have to sell your IP, and getting you residual income for your TV shows. It's the best way to get authority in your industry, gain brand visibility. It gives you so much opportunity to have your TV show, as well as just upcharging your prices, right? Because when you're becoming an authority in your industry, you can elevate your prices. So it's really a win-win-win for creators.
Before everybody starts asking me, I'm going to say links are in the description for her beautiful website and contact, because every podcaster and everybody's going to say, I got a show, I got this, I got 1 billion followers, but it's not monetized or whatever the case. What are some of the requirements and also costs that they may need to have? Because I don't want someone calling you and saying, hey, I got $500 in my account and I want you to make this happen. Make me rich, make me famous today. Ahora, now.
Yeah, no. So, if you have quality content that it will pass QC. The QC upload fees are only $1,000 per distribution channel that we have. So it would be well, let me rephrase that. Well, actually, you know what? Let me look at your content before we even get into numbers, because if your content's not at par, we can't even do anything with it. As long as it's at par, we can distribute it, and it's very, very low cost. And then you get quarterly checks every 3 months. You'll get a check for viewership. We have built-in viewership and marketing in these partnerships that we have. And then when it comes to producing a new TV show, if you come with a show that we feel that we can work with you on, it would be based on the level of work. But I will tell you that for a 5-episode series, it's starting at 150,000. So about 30,000 an episode if we're producing it. But if we produce it, it's going to be top of the line, and it's going to get massive viewership because it's going through all of our portals as an original production of ours. So either way, we can help you. So we just need to see what you have, what your concept is. You can bring in sponsors. A lot of shows are sponsored. We had one of our recent shows that we just produced. She got Uber Eats, she got Pepsi, she got another food vendor. So we're working right now with some real estate people and using title companies and different vendors that can help sponsor and cover production costs. So if your show concept is there, we can always talk about what that looks like as well. You can get an investor, take a loan, you're getting guaranteed revenues in 3 months. So there's different ways to do it, and we'll help walk you through all of that process.
You've tried it your way, but you're still in debt? Or maybe you're doing okay, but want to invest smarter, grow faster. MillionaireX.ai gives you real step-by-step strategies to ditch debt or stack wealth. Stop dreaming and start planning. Visit MillionaireX.ai today. I want you to be the next millionaire next door.
And I love you mentioned so many different various ways, because I go to like the NATPE every year. I am in this country in Miami, and that's where shows get bought and sold and all that good stuff. But you find that so many people have great ideas, but they don't understand the game. How did you learn how television? Because television doesn't always move fast, and it's very expensive.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea. Like, that's a whole story in itself. Television is a wild roller coaster. And, I've been in entertainment for 20 years now. So as a model, actress, TV host, interviewed hundreds of celebrities. I had one of the biggest entertainment companies, the number one shot girl company in the whole United States in my 20s. I've done, I've been acting. I've done all kinds of things. I've thrown massive events with celebrities, beauty pageants, you name it, fashion shows. But TV was something that I really loved to do, because I loved having a finished product that I can, like, a tangible product you can see and hold and be proud of, right? It's like an accolade. It's like, oh, I did that. And I love storytelling. I thought it was great just being able to create something and tell the story and get it out to the masses. But it has been a journey, because in the old days, you had to pay $50,000, $75,000 or more for a sizzle reel, like a 3-minute reel, not even an episode. I'm like, what? And so just coming up with that money, and then you have no idea if that's going to get picked up. You have to go shop. You have to hire a shopping person to go shop it, sign shopping agreements. They're running around trying to shop it. Then maybe it gets picked up. It's like a 0.1% chance it gets picked up. And then it's negotiations, and you usually get paid pennies on what they make off of it. Then they own the IP, so you have no control over the creative, even though it was your idea. Very rarely do you have any control. Occasionally you could write yourself in if you have like major accolades, that you have some type of creative control. But usually if you're just starting out, it's not happening. And it's just, and then if it doesn't do well the first season, they'll shelf it and you can never do it again. It's done. It's dead. It's a dead project. So it's like, you don't own the name, you don't own anything, and you get like a little piece of the pie. And so it was just a really crazy industry. And I've been down those roads too. And I know that whole game pretty well. And so after COVID, it was really interesting how everything has changed drastically, right? Like now there's just content being, dispersed all over the place and consumed by so many different places. And so now it's a matter of how do you monetize your content and own it versus, even with TikTok and stuff. I mean, yeah, there's influencers making really good money, but you have to get the major viewership, and you can't really create content just based on the way you want to. It has to hit the algorithm the right way. And so that's kind of, for me, kind of confusing, because if you have a concept that you want to do your way and you want to get out to the masses, but you can't get into the algorithm because you didn't follow whatever the algorithm specs are this year or this quarter or this month, right? And so what I love about what we're doing now is we're really pioneering giving back the authority to the creator, letting them own their IP, letting them distribute their IP and to the masses and be able to make income and still have creative control. It's just a game changer. So it's an exciting time for people like me in the industry.
Are you a successful entrepreneur or one in training? You've got the vision, but do you have the right partner to build your brand, your team, and your future online and off? At CPRfirm.com, we offer expert consulting, financial guidance, and life coaching because we believe in doing life with our clients. After all, what is it for a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Founded by Callan Cash Coleman, we help our clients not only succeed, but plan to retire rich. Your business deserves the best. Start building your legacy today at CPRfirm.com.
And if you guys said, man, she said all the negatives, no, those were the positives of the industry. Those are the good things. She didn't even talk about the, I said the BS that we had to deal with, because it wasn't just women on casting couches, and you guys are finding that out more and more in the industry. I've done this 20 plus years, and it is amazing to see how people can change, and the things that they'll do. But when you talk about the algorithm that, it's like the Wizard of Oz, because you don't know what the wizard is doing. And if you go, you could have 1 million followers today, but if that YouTube, especially algorithm changes, oh man, it can all go, and they can cut your people if they suspect, any type of fraud that your competition might have bought you bots or something. But how do you see with Web3 and, the different AIs and, the blockchains that are just coming in? How has that, changed the game for the outlets that you can go to? Because I know you teach and preach on this. So educate the audience, because they'll be like, wait, what's this black web, dark web, Web3 thing they keep talking about? And it's just the future. It's the now, really.
There's a lot going on, and is it gonna forever? I mean, just like, the last 20 years we've been in this business, it's always evolving and changing. I know there's a lot happening with AI, with movies, right? And so now movies are being produced full AI and they look like they're real. It's wild. What I love about my particular part of the industry is AI can't take away the human experience of food and travel. So I feel like I'm in a really nice niche where I'm like, you can't touch it, right? And what I'm working on with other entrepreneurs is highlighting their stories and their businesses in a creative, fun, engaging way. So it's not like a business show, but it's about them, but it shows business within it, and their big personalities, right? And some of the things that they go through, because that stuff that AI can't take away is like how humans are moving through life and creating, and how they're, being pioneers of different industries. That's stuff that AI can't replicate. So the movie industry is in trouble, right? They're in a different field. They're doing different things. Like a lot of the actors now are fully AI. Like they look just like Tom Cruise, but it's not Tom Cruise, right? It's just his likeness. So they're now like renting their likeness or licensing their likeness for commercials and things, and not actually even doing the actual commercial. It's crazy. So that part of the industry, yes, it's wild right now. It's a wild roller coaster, and there's a lot happening over there. I love my part of the industry because I still have control of it. And we get to create as we want, right? So, and it's powerful because content's king. No matter which way you look at it, you need to have content. Whether you're advertising a business on a magazine, that's still content, right? It's printed content. Or whether you're advertising on social media so you can get new followers. I mean, you've got to have content everywhere. So if you can have your own TV show where it's really showcasing you and what you're doing and your glory and your expertise, your genius zone, that is something that I feel like AI is never going to be able to replace and is always going to be needed. So it's a good space to be in this wild world of content.
Let the audience know, for inspiration purposes, who you were before you got into entertainment, and when did you know I could make a living at this? Because it's not easy. I know people hear the big contracts and they see the boats and the yachts, but even those things need maintenance. And we live in a kind of a fantasy. It's a kind of a simulation where everything looks beautiful. Very few people show you the ugly side of it unless it's in a courtroom. But who were you before, and what made you want to get into entertainment?
Well, I'm 40 years old, so I have only been in entertainment because I've done 20 years now. So I was in college before, and I was going to school for business marketing. And I knew that I was a very studious kid. I had full paid scholarships. I skipped a grade. I top of my, top 10% of my class or whatever. It was all good things, but I just didn't want to work for anybody. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to school for because I don't want to work for anybody. And so during college, I was part-time modeling and acting and just picking up gigs. And when I finished college, that just kept elevating. People were like, hey, I need 4 more models. Can I get this? Do you have anybody to do that? So I started booking my friends and taking a cut. And I started my own entertainment company, Fort Liquordale Entertainment. So that company I started right out of college. And I did really well. It's when I said I had the number 1 shot girl company in the whole United States. I had a production company fly in from LA and shoot a TV show about us back a million years ago. I booked models for fashion shows and music videos, TV shows. I choreographed for 2 Live Crew. I mean, I've done all different facets of the entertainment industry. And so I created a really booming career by creating my own IP. Whatever I wanted to do, I created it and then I monetized it. So if I threw a fashion show, I went and raised sponsor dollars. I sold tickets, whatever it was to do, whatever it was that I wanted to do, I went and found a way to monetize that. So I did all these different things, and created revenue from it. And so when I went into TV, similarly, I raised sponsor dollars to start Dining Divas. And Dining Divas was actually owned by my entertainment company. But because I was a single owner and I didn't have any partners, once I saw it was valuable and it could be on its own, I pulled it out of the entertainment company and then started its own company with the Dining Divas. And then from there, I've now built on top of it. I have a parent company with 4 LLCs. So we have multifaceted company. So we have our Diva Network, which is our mastermind, our virtual mastermind I was telling you about. Then we have our TV shows that are all the Diva IP shows. And then we have our Dining Empire, which is our network, which you can actually download our app in the Google and Apple Play Store and check out some of our past shows. And then the Dining Empire also owns all the third-party distribution contracts for all the different platforms, Amazon, Google, Apple, Prime, Tubi, Peacock, all of the ones that we're on. And then we have the Divalicious. So we're going to be launching our brand soon, which we're very excited about. So that's products and things that are under the Divalicious brand. So stay tuned for that.
Can you let the audience know, especially as a 20-year-old, did you have to have mentorship? Did you have to get the, thumbs up from some big shot to be able to put your first project together, like those specs? Because people say, well, where do I get the money? And I tell people, it's not the money, it's the work that you put in. It's, people see you working, but they don't believe me. So maybe you have like the Wizard of Oz, Yellow Brick Road story to tell them to go down, and, it's better than mine.
Yeah, I would say no, I didn't have any mentorship, although I think mentorship is great. It's always great to have multiple mentors or people you look up to. They don't have to actually be a mentor you call, but people you look up to that you can bounce ideas off of. I mean, collaboration is key. I'm going to tell you right now in entertainment, collaboration is key. You need to build relationships, strong relationships. You need to go support people, show up for people, go to their events, promote them. I never understand people that are so weird and selfish on social media that they will not promote other people. It's like the weirdest thing to me. I don't get it. I'm collaborating on posts with people. I'm promoting their flyers in my stories, whatever it is that I need to do to support other people in my industry. I show up for as many events as I possibly can if my schedule permits. It's absolutely the number 1 most important thing. And marketing is the number 1 most important thing. So collaboration and marketing. So you need to be promoting all the time. You need to be seen. You need to be visible. If you want to be in entertainment, you need to be seen and you need to be visible. So you need to be going to these events, not only to support your friends, but to be seen and be visible. And you need to be taking pictures and taking videos. You need to be posting all the time, stories, posts, That's how you're going to build a rapport and build trust in an industry that everybody wants to be in. Everybody wants to be famous, but people don't realize there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes to get that 5% of glory that I've had, in my 20 years. You look at my page, you're like, oh my gosh, she's done all these things. She's just running around everywhere. They don't realize that that's like 5 minutes compared to the other part that I'm putting in behind the scenes on the computer, on the phones, meetings, XYZ, trying to find ways to monetize new ideas that I have. So it's a lot. And I'm 20 years in and it's still a challenge. But my challenge is, I was talking about this on my story today. Like my dips are like used to be down here, right? You have this high and lows of roller coaster rides as entrepreneur, especially in entertainment. But now my dips, because as you continue to grow through 20 years, now my dips are up here. There's still dips. Sometimes I have bad days. I'm like, this is not working, right? But it's a much higher dip because I've done the work to grow gradually over 20 years. Some people want to hop in and just get the quick fame, and it happens, but it usually comes with a price, right? It comes with a price tag, and it's not usually a good one.
Hello everyone! Join us on an exciting journey with Explore the World Cameroon. London and Sydney go take you explore Cameroon, the heart of Africa. Experience the vibrant culture, nature and tradition from Yaoundé market to rainforest adventures. Every page na new discovery. Join the Cameroonian food, music and wildlife with our explorers. This book na true celebration of Cameroon spirit. Get your copy now. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and through your library and bookstores here in Grams Park. Don't miss this adventure.
It never is. It never is. It never, whether you're a goon or you're laying on your back, the price won't have you sleeping well. And that's why drugs and, sex, drugs, and rock and roll is part of it. But, do you remember the first time someone said yes and it allowed you, funding wise, and even if it wasn't funding, just access maybe to like a red camera or something, right? Like, something that you're like, yes, I'm in the door. What was that, if you remember? Because some people are just looking for that first shot. And when they get it, you never really know. It's like in hindsight, you're like, oh, wow, this person opened up a door, allowed me to go to this award show, or allowed me to, do interviews for their platform. And now I have a reputation. Now I have something to put on the CV and I can say I did this big thing. Do you remember that changing moment for you?
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like every moment is like, wow, I'm doing this right now, but then doesn't mean that immediately you're going to get all this stuff after just because you did this thing. Like when I choreograph for Two Live Crew, it doesn't mean everybody is calling up my phone going, oh my God, I need you to choreograph for me. Like, it doesn't, when I interviewed, at the Miss Universe pageant with Donald Trump and stuff, it doesn't mean everyone's calling my phone going, I want you at every single event we're doing. Like, I still have to do the work. That's the part. People think they get something once, and that means that now everything's just going to show up at their front door and their phone's going to ring off the hook. And you got to use that and leverage it. And that's the roller coaster ride I'm talking about, that you have to leverage every single thing that you've done. Every time you get into a room, you need to be hitting up all the PR companies. Hey, can I show up to your event? Can you put me on your list? Like, you need to be networking. You need to be following up and following through, like with your networking, right? So if you're collecting data, but you're not reaching out and trying to figure out ways to work together. And then it's slow building relationships. So like you've got stuff that happens fast, and you've got stuff over here that's going slow, right? And you got to build these relationships, stay in touch with them, find out what's going on next. See, well, hey, maybe I could do this with you at that event, or hey, would you be open to working with me like that? And sometimes it's a no, and you get told no a lot. I get told no a lot even now. Like I've been doing this for so long, and I've interviewed over 100 celebrities and socialites, and I've been on all kinds of major TV platforms for all different TV shows. I've done all kinds of cool stuff, and I don't even know my Rolodex is insane, but that doesn't mean that people are blowing up my phone to do stuff. I have to make initiative. I have to create stuff. I have to go out and put it out to the universe. Hey, this is what I want to do, and have conversations around it. And then naturally things start to gravitate to you. The right people will start coming in your circle, and you have to really be focused. This is what I'm focused on. This is what I'm working on. This is what I need to complete it. And just be intentional. Be intentional with the conversations you're having. Be intentional with the rooms you're going into and why you're going there and what you're trying to achieve in order to achieve it. That is the best advice I can possibly give you.
And in creating, you have a TV show. People have courses, people have books, people mentor, paid mentorship, coaching, et cetera, et cetera. If someone says, I want to follow your footsteps, how can I get in? How can I follow you? I just want to, I want to have your coattails. Do you have anything like that for especially the young ladies?
Well, I would say that technically all the divas that are with our organization are technically under our coattails of mentorship because most of them have never been on TV, at least not at the level they're on now with us. And so it's a constant mentorship on teaching them and training them how to rebuttal, how to talk, how to handle situations, like the right way to move in circles, because in entertainment, it's everybody knows everybody, and you got to be really careful like how you're moving around, right? Like people don't realize it is a very small world. The ones that are really at the top that have been doing this a long time, we all know each other. We all know of each other if we don't know each other, right? And the ones that are actually are moving and shaking and making things happen. So how you show up and how you move and how you speak behind closed doors, it comes out. Everything comes out in the wash. So that's the mentorship that I provide with my divas, is just, acting the diva way, not gossiping, watching, how you're moving, supporting people, like all of those things come into play under our Diva brand. With our Diva network, we are really big on mentorship. And so if you join our Diva network, you'll get to be part of all those kind of conversations. You'll be able to, we have forums that you'll be able to ask questions and advice and all those things as well. So I definitely encourage you. You can come on a Diva network call on Tuesdays. I believe it's 11 a.m. Eastern. And we do like introductory calls where you get to learn from one of our high level people, whatever that person, it could be on AI, it could be on systems and processes, it could be on tech, it could be on anything. We teach all different business things in there. And then after that, we do the networking. So you'll be able to network with people. We also, Adora Evans, my partner that runs the Diva Network, she really trains people on etiquette and how to speak and how to, work rooms and just different types of self-development things, which is a really big part of our company. So I think that it would be incredible if you're looking for mentorship to come join us at the Diva Network and check it out.
And we talked about, the sponsorships before. If someone says, hey, I want to come, are there any if tips or tricks to get them ready, prepared? Because it's not something that you can do with your company. Just, hey, discover me because I sound cool or I look great. A lot of people look great. A lot of people are funny. And this industry is so big where you could sell your content to Turkey for some reason. They buy a lot of telenovelas and it's like, whoa, you would never know. But you don't have to be Oprah. You don't have to be Cardi B to still make a living at this. But are there any tips, tricks for that financial piece? Because a lot of people stop their dream because they say, I just don't have money. I don't have extra money to, pay $1,000, but I have a product. I have a great idea. And we know ideas are cheap. But are there any tips, tricks, or if they join the Diva network, and let them know if it's paid, if it's a paid network too? I just want to make that clear.
We have a free version. Yeah, we have a free option, and then we have an elevated option. But we are considered the most affordable virtual mastermind in the world. It's only like $97 a month to join. We have a founders membership, which is for the year, and you get invited to special trips. Our founders are actually going to Mexico. So I think in September. So if you join as a founder, I think it's like $1,200 for the year. I believe it's roughly, I'm giving you rough numbers. And then you get all these special perks and special privileges. You get to be on podcasts. You get to be on all kinds of things. I mean, ultimately what you want to do, if you really want to make it in this industry, you need to go lock arms and join groups like ours or join other groups out there that can teach you and that will guide you. And you need to make yourself visible, by showing up. If you show up, if I see you multiple times and you're coming to everything that I'm at and I see you and we're constantly having small talk, eventually it's going to grow into a familiar face for me, right? I see thousands of people between Zoom calls, events, but I'll now be a familiar face for me. And so if you come to me by the 5th or 6th time and say, hey, Christina, I have this idea and I wanted to run it by you, see how you could get involved and see if it's even something, or if you can't get involved, how you can give me advice, that will now be more of a comfortable conversation for me than if you just come up to me first time, don't know you, never met you, and you're just like, hey, da 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 da, like all in my face, right? So, you know, you need to be visible, you need to be seen, you need to join groups, you need to, you know, lock arms and latch on to organizations that you aspire to be like. So if it speaks to you that we're driven, inspiring, visionary, authentic sisterhood and the men that support us, if it speaks to you that we're self-development driven and we're not the housewives throwing wine on each other because we like to drink our wine, if those things speak to you, then you want to lock arms with us. If it doesn't, maybe it's a David Meltzer that speaks to you. Maybe it's I don't know, an organization for music that speaks to you. There's all these different groups and organizations out there. So find the ones that you align with energetically and lock arms with them. That means joining their group and you have to pay a fee every month. So what? Pay the fee. It's called marketing. You got to get yourself out there and you got to start having conversations with people that are at a higher level than you to elevate you to that next level.
Amen, amen. And I know you have an event that you're pushing constantly with Jeff Hoffman, and that's Priceline.com, Jeff Hoffman, if I'm not mistaken. Are the Divas only for women? And I guess we have to say maybe natural born, or I don't know the times. I'm very old school because I'm 40 plus, and I'm, you know, prostate colonoscopy age. Well, I let people know. So all these new terms, forgive me if I don't get it all. Some of it, I don't want to get it. But, you know, is it only for natural born women? And tell us about this event with Jeff Hop.
Yeah, no. We have men coming. We have couples that come to our retreat. So once a year, we do a mastermind and we film it all for the TV show. And it's a special event because we bring high-powered entrepreneurs, thought leaders, people that want to grow together, and we collaborate. So it's a time to relax, unwind in a really cool setting, like a tropical setting. We've done St. Lucia, Mexico, Exumas, and now this year in Tobago. And so it's a powerful experience because you're in a different element where your creative brain can really process and turn on to its full capacity. You're hanging out with all other high vibing people that are doing amazing things in the world. So the conversations are different, right? You're having high level conversations. Oh, we could do this. We could do that. What about this? Well, how do you handle this in business? And you're all doing it in a fun environment, right? And then we do excursions and we get to see the place that we're visiting and we have a cultural experience. Then this year we have a private chef that's doing dinner parties every night, and they're all theme parties. You get to dress up and dance and have fun and with your other high vibing people that you're hanging out with and building relationships with. And then we mastermind. So during the day, the midday, we have a time where everybody gets up and speaks about themselves to the group, and we film all of this. So it's a really cool experience because like last year we did Lisa Nichols in the Exumas, and that was a lot of deep transformational work where people had like breakdowns and they were crying and releasing things and then breakthroughs and, you know, aha moments. And so it was really powerful. This year is all about how to 100x your business. And so with Jeff Hoffman building 3 multi-billion-dollar companies and raising $11 billion for social good and all these great things he's done in his lifetime, to be able to spend time with him on an island and get to absorb his knowledge and get his energy. And like, it's a really powerful experience, and it's going to be life-changing for the people that attend. So I'm just super excited to see what transpires out of this event, because what I love, like I just saw the other day on Facebook, is 2 people that went to my very first mastermind in St. Lucia. They just did a business deal together, and this is now 4 years later. And that means that those lifelong friendships and relationships are continuing to grow and to develop, and it's a beautiful thing to see. So this is going to be a good one. I'm really excited about it.
Amen, amen. And yeah, Auntie Lisa Nichols will do that to you. She'll make you cry. You guys, I'm sure this audience knows something about her, because this is the smartest audience that wants to learn how people, you know, succeed and sustain in what they do. And he let the people know your whole brand is giving back. But what's a give back that you haven't talked about, or one that you would like to do in the future? And how could the community help you with that?
Oh man, I mean, I love to do all different things that are helping people. I mean, whether it's advising somebody, I've had some of my past models have come to me like way later in life, like, "Hey, Christine, I'm doing this thing. I don't know how to do it. Can you help me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I've done decks for people, sponsorship decks for them. I've done, I've given them advice on, but so I love to just see people grow, elevate, and win and doing great things. So why, I'd love to support charities that feed people. I mean, the one thing that people need is shelter and food, right? Those are just necessities in life. And so anything that's supporting that is always a big heartstring for me. So Action Against Hunger was one that we've supported in the past. I've done some different turkey drives and things, but I usually do those more quietly. So I like to go feed the homeless. That's one of my passions, but I don't talk about it or showcase it or take videos of it or post it online. But I tend to do that just randomly around my own hometown. With my daughter, my mother too. They love doing that with me. So yeah, I mean, I'm open to all kinds of different give backs and, things that if you're not like, as you're continuing to grow, if you're not giving back knowledge and help to the people that you used to be, or even the people that below you that you need to help because they don't have anybody, right? If you're not giving back, then you're not going to continue to elevate anyway. You can't just win in life and be greedy and selfish. You have to return it back to the universe. You have to return it back to the next generation. So I'm always open to anything that I can do to serve others.
And one thing about you is you can tell you love what you're doing. Met you at the crypto networking event, and she's talking to everyone. She's networking. She's not sitting just waiting for people to come flock to her because she's just fabulous as she is. But she's actually engaging, and of course, a lot of people knew you already there. But where do you think that comes from? How can someone learn how to be genuine, how to be personable? Because we're in a time where what I hear is the guys aren't talking, they're texting, they're not talking as much. And I keep hearing women are mean. I've been there for a long time, and women were never my problem ever. So, where are we at with how some people can learn to be more personable? Because practice makes perfect.
Absolutely. Well, again, I'm going to revert back to our Diva network because we actually teach a lot of these type of things in the Diva network. Different people's colors, right? Like whether you're a yellow, red, blue, or green, that's a different type of personality, and how you engage with people based on your color type. So we've had those type of lessons in the Diva network. I think a lot of it has to do with misunderstanding people. Like people just misunderstand each other. And when you understand a personality type, you can understand how to engage with them and to get what you're trying to achieve out of them, right? The result. So I think that's an important part is self-development in general is a big piece of just being a good entrepreneur, because as you can become more self-developed and more aware of how everything's working around you and how people move and how people receive things, then you're able to get the better results that you're looking for. So I think, just being authentic, looking people in the eyes when you're talking to them, not always jumping right into business, but having conversation about their clothes or their kids or things that light them up. When you talk to somebody and you're asking them about themselves, like one of my questions I love to ask is like, so what do you do, or how do you show up in this world? What do you do? What's your passion? Because sometimes that's different than what their job is, what their income is, right? And so you'll see the difference in somebody's face when you say that and how they light up and they're like, "Oh, well, my passion?" It's like, and it might be like a podcast, but maybe you have another job, but the podcast is what's important to you, right? So if you just say, "What do you do for a living?" That's not always what somebody is living for, right? That's just what they're doing momentarily in their life. So I like to just ask those kind of questions and let them, and then once I am able to see what they get really lit up about and what engages them, then I like to go deeper into that conversation more. So, that's how you really get in with people and build meaningful connections.
And did you learn that? Was there a class that taught you that? Did grandma teach you that? Did pops teach you that? Where did you get that? Or is it just in you?
It's a lot of learning as we grow. I mean, I don't say, I mean, nobody's born knowing that, right? But as you kind of see, as you move around, you're like, oh, that doesn't work. That shuts down, that makes people shut down. That, so there's a lot of that. But again, I'll say that Diva Network, we really hone in on those things. So like, I'm always learning when I'm on those calls. I'm always, still absorbing from all the people and the resources that we have in there. So I love what we've built over there because I think it's good for every person in any industry to learn and grow and develop community. Because what I've learned too is that nowadays community is everything. And there was like a whole study on this that community that people are thriving or starving for community, and that community is where people are thriving. So I really just am a bold believer of that, and I think that it's just incredible what we have and what other communities have. We join other communities all the time. I jump in. I have a girlfriend in Miami that does Epic Talks, Melissa Wagi. I've gone to a lot of her events. I had my other friends here that did the Visionary Edge, and I was part of that event. And they even had follow-up events that we've showed up to, just to continue building the relationship. So getting in with finding what's happening in your town and what's happening around you, that's business development, self-development, anything in any of those fields, and getting out there and just talking and collecting. Listen, the most important thing you could do is collect the information, build relationships, collect it and store it, and make sure you keep your Rolodex, because data is everything. Your email list, your text blast list, that's all where all your money sits as an entrepreneur. So
I love it. I love it. You guys are getting the game, and there's something you can do besides just listening. There's a community you can join. So if you haven't found community, you can do it, and you can probably do it right from your house, wherever you are, because the Divas are expanding and they're going everywhere. I want you to let the people know where to find you, and any last words that maybe I haven't touched upon that you want to share with the people. Some exciting stuff coming up, and I thank you for your time.
yeah, no, thank you for having me. It's super fun. So definitely go check out our diningempire.com or download our app. The app is great. You can watch past shows there. You can find me at Christine Curran pretty much across anywhere on a Google search. On LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. And obviously you could find Dining Divas TV, Destination Divas TV on Instagram as well. So yeah, follow us. We'll follow you back.
I thank you guys. And I thank you, Christina, for coming on. You guys follow this, not just, I know most of you are listeners. Thank you, Apple. Thank you, Podbean. But go over to YouTube. Put a voice with a face, so when you see her, you can say, "Hey, I need an autograph. I heard you," and fan out. But also check it out on the MillionaireX.ai platform. The app should be up this week, this month, on all platforms. I thank you, Wealthy Vibes, for working with us to make that all.
Wealthy Vibes. I love.
Yeah. Tyler is the man. And, he's definitely a blessing. So you guys, like, share, of course, share this game with somebody who changed their life. It's a family business. It's different, though. Be blessed.
Are you tired of the rat race in America? Are you ready to visit the motherland to relax and rejuvenate? Are you ready to explore all that Africa has to offer? Then check out the brand new Diversified Game Academy course, Prepare for My First Trip to Africa. Are you worried about being able to afford the trip? We got you. We will show you how to travel either on a budget or as a baller. Learn how to stress the value of the USD. Did you know that 100 United States dollars is worth over 1,000 South African rand, or 10,000 Kenyan shillings, or 54,250 West African CFA? Are you worried about taking your kids? Get the game from Kellen Cash, a bona fide world traveler, having traveled to almost 20 countries, several of those in Africa. Get the game on taking your kids on their first trips. Learn how to find the best tickets, get the visas, and plan your own adventures in Africa. Don't let Eddie Murphy have all the fun. Plan your own coming to Africa trip starring you, produced by you, and featuring you. If you are ready for a life-changing experience, sign up for our course today, Diversified Game Academy. Get prepared and purchase at diversifiedgame.com.